Alright, so we need to determine whether the graphs of any of the following equations are parallel or perpendicular. So remember, parallel lines have same slope. Perpendicular lines, I'm just going to write perpendicular lines have opposite reciprocals for slopes. Okay, opposite reciprocal slopes. Yes. Alright, so of the equations we have, the easiest way to see slope is when it's in slope-intercept form, or if it's in point-slope form, right? Because m is our slope. This equation right here, this third one we have, that is in neither of those forms. That's in standard form. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write that equation in slope-intercept form so that we can see the slope very easily, because we need to compare our slopes to determine whether certain lines are parallel or perpendicular to each other. So I need to solve for y. So to do that, I need to get my x's to the other side, because y is on one side, x is on the other, and y is by itself. Always put your x term first, because in this form, it's easier just to have your slope first. Alright, now I have this. Gotta get y by itself, divide by -3 on both sides. So I got y equals, see, -2 divided by -3 is a positive 2 over 3 x. And then 8 divided by -3, let's see, so 8 divided by -3, that'd be a -8 over 3. I'm going to write this as a mixed number. So it's going to be negative. 3 goes into 8 twice with 2 left. So -2 and 2/3. Alright, so I'm going to write this form up here so we can then compare it to the other equations. So let's look at these. Are any of them perpendicular? Do we have any opposite reciprocals? I see some reciprocals, right? 2 over 3, 3 over 2, 2 over 3. But I don't see any opposites, right? There's no negatives. So there are no perpendicular lines. No perpendicular lines that we can see. Okay? This is where I'm going to write my answer. Sorry, I should have specified that. Okay, so no perpendicular lines. What about parallel lines? Parallel lines have the same slope, and this equation have the same slope. Okay, so they would be parallel. So if I were to number these, which I will do to make this easier for me to write, lines 1 and 3 are parallel because they have the same slope. So that's how you're going to answer questions like these. You just need to get the equations written so that you can compare their slope, and then just compare those slopes and see if the slope is the same. If it's the same, it's parallel. If you have opposite reciprocals, then you're looking at perpendicular. But remember, just because your slopes are reciprocals doesn't mean they're perpendicular. They have to be opposite. So one is positive and one is negative.